Welcome to the KBBreview podcast. I'm Andy Davies as always, and today we're asking the most fundamental and simple question that usually doesn't have an easy answer. How's business? The market has been really poor for some time. You don't need me to tell you that. But what are the nuances within it? What are the different perspectives of why that might be? What are the positive signs of recovery, if there are any? And what's going to happen in the short to medium term? September and October always bring the KBSA Conference and the Bathroom Manufacturers Association Conference, and they're perfect places to grab those in the know to get a snapshot of opinion on where the market is. So we grabbed some willing volunteers and asked them that all-important question, how's business? But first, entries for the KBBreview Retail and Design Awards 2025 are now open, but the clock is ticking and we're closing them at 5 p.m. on November the 14th, and we won't be extending that no matter how nicely you ask. We have categories for kitchen and bathroom designs at different project costs. We have Showroom of the Year, Retailer of the Year, Installation Company of the Year, Supplier Team of the Year, New Retailer of the Year, and our Rising Star Award for those in KBB Retail under 30. In other words, we've got something for everyone, and it's totally free to enter, so you've got nothing to lose. Everything you need to know is at kbbreview.com/awards, and that link is in the episode description.
My name's Alex Gemman, the company is Gainsborough Kitchens and we're in Gainsborough, Lincolnshire. It's been a really slow year, although it's picking up in the last quarter, so quite optimistic about next year. But yeah, very steady year. I should say it's a slow recovery. I think the first half of this year was as slow as we've been for many years. There's definite signs of an upturn in this last quarter. We're booking work into March next year now. The quality of the work isn't there. We're not getting the really big orders yet. We're just getting sort of medium-sized orders and small jobs and worktop replacements and door swaps and things. But at least the signs are positive. At the start of the year, they were taking long to make decisions. I think a lot of the ones we sold in the first quarter of the year were quoted probably 6 months before that. Nowadays, they're wanting to make decisions, but a lot of them are downscaling the plans. So we will quote the premium product at the best price, and then we're having conversations like, can we take the quartz worktops out and put laminate on to make it affordable? People want to do it now, but they haven't got the budget that they would have liked to have had, and I think they've taken the first half of the year to come to that conclusion. Budget is definitely a pressure, and I think people have come to the conclusion that waiting another 6 months isn't going to make any difference. They're not going to suddenly be richer, so they'd rather get on with it, even if they have to economise slightly on what they want.
Hi, it's Graham Robinson from Housey and Interiors in Wigmore Street. Currently good. If you'd asked me maybe 8 weeks ago, I'd said hard. It's still not easy, but we've had lots of positive signs in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Quite a few repeat clients come back to us, and old projects we were working on some time ago that have sort of resurrected themselves. So overall positive. Reconnecting with old clients is some of it. We've reconnected with a couple of interior designers we worked with in the past that we sort of lost contact with, and they brought some clients to us, some existing clients to repeat. And I just think just trying to be positive, and you can change things if you are positive, so just trying to come out of that negative mindset that I think we had earlier in the summer and do something a bit different. I think definitely going to be better in 25, but there's going to be some things that are hard still, but it's just trying to focus on the bits that you enjoy and you like, and then the hard bits sort of diminish. That's probably the hardest thing, to sort of stay positive, but I think you do see the benefit of it, and I think when you are positive, you see those rewards quite quickly. So the more positive you see and you see those rewards, I think then it becomes easier. So it's just staying on that upward spiral rather than on a negative one. And we found that the last quite a few years, the collaborations and working with appliance brands closely, worktop brands, furniture brands, and just not trying to be too clever, doing what you know works, and keeping things simple makes it easier, so that then you can focus on maybe a new client or developing new business.
My name is Cornelia Hugh, and I'm at Quarterbank Boutique Bathrooms. We had the best year since we've opened. It's been 2.5 years. We opened in June 2 years ago. But it's been really, really good. This year we've been having a fantastic year, with actually the summer being really, really good for us. So we are on the uprise at the moment. I have to say, the upward has been since I took over my own sales. My manager left in February this year, and I found myself in a situation where I had to step in, and there was no time for recruitment. We already had the projects, couldn't pause them. We just had to slot someone in, and because I was already overseeing the day-to-day operations, the natural kind of progression.
Yeah, makes sense.
So ever since the February, I'm kind of getting better and better in my sales. Recently, nearly tripled them. So it's been really good for us. This is a quite interesting one because I don't necessarily see what other people are saying, but our suppliers, when they come to see us, everyone at the moment is complaining of how low the market is, how showrooms are not having much traffic at the moment, that everything is on a lull, but I see the opposite. So I'm not sure whether I'm just the one-off fortunate one, because like I said, my sales for the last 2 months were the highest they've ever been since we've opened, but I hear that there is not much going on out there. So from my perspective, where we are, maybe we are in such a little niche area where we are in Winslow in Cheshire, we are having a still very high demand. I actually had to expand our fitting team to cater for the demand that we're having. So we now install over 4 bathroom installation teams. Very, very busy. I believe in my business and I believe in what we do, and only that we're getting better and better each month with our sales figures, and obviously the high service that we provide. I have only a positive outlook on what's to come. I really hope that the whole market would follow in that direction. There are still people that want to renovate. There are still people that have been saving up for it. So regardless of the current economic, they still want to do it because they have the budget for it, and it's a special budget allocated for just that type. So I think it will be great.
Richard, KSO in Sudbury, based in Suffolk. Hugely mixed when I speak to different retailers. We've had quite an uplift since just before the election. I don't think the government has necessarily helped us because the negativity is unusual for a new government, and it's really been negative. So it'll be interesting what happens in the budget. But we've been pretty good in the last few months, but it has been very, very mixed. I think in some ways the British public always get fed up with negativity, and we do move on from it. Most of the customers we're dealing with have got money, and it's the bigger projects that are certainly coming through for us. So it's not the lower end budgets that we're getting, it's definitely the higher end budgets. So I think it's just they're ready at that time and they want to move on. It is that, it's very mixed, but I think as well it's they're flying one month and they're not the next. I mean, I've spoke to manufacturers as well, and they've had 4 weeks of huge, like bigger than ever inputs, and then 6 weeks of nothing, and it's just trying to judge that, and maybe it'll balance out within the year, and you're feast and famine a little bit, like you don't want to be, but yeah, it is very, very mixed. And a lot of it is the way that life has gone. We used to say don't advertise in December, don't advertise in August, that sort of thing, and Dad always used to do that. For me now, if grandparents take away their grandchildren and that because they can't afford to go away, then they're gone in the school holidays. But if they don't, they're gone in May, June. And I think it's a bit of luck as well. So my customers might this year be gone in May and June, but next year August, and someone else's are gone in the opposite time. So I think sometimes it's luck and your demographics and things like that, but you're definitely affected by more than just the market now. I mean, we're lucky we're an established business, so we try and keep quite lean with what we do, and that is difficult because you often need to buy more in and spend more on displays and that sort of thing. But I think you've got to have a movable plan now. I think we do try and plan for longer term, but keep revisiting it, where I think before you used to like 6 months, 3 years, 5 years, and then you just see it pan out, and after 5 years, oh, this is what we've done. But now I think it's, put in 6 months for you. I mean, we do management accounts quarterly with our accountants, and that stops you getting a year down the line and going, oh, we've got no money. You know, I think a lot of people do wait until they have got no money, where we try and, I mean, we've got accounts in-house who monthly give me figures, I ask for certain things, and then we have our accountants in quarterly to do the sort of more formal stuff. So it's just adapting, but also being on top of those key indicators in your business.
Trevor Scott here. I'm from Rugby Fitters Kitchens, aka RFK, and as it suggests, we're from Rugby in the Midlands. At the moment, it's a little bit depressing, to be honest with you. It's been a year of quick, slow, so it's like going on Come Dancing at the moment. I think we're back in a slow, and we've had a bit of a quick, but we also had a slow earlier in the year as well. So it's going to end up being very average, but it's like wading through a tree. We're going through a period of political turpitude. And nobody can get their act together, politically speaking, throughout the world, not just in the UK. And it all is having a knock-on effect in consumer confidence and market forces in general. And as a high-ticket consumer product sales company, we're one of the first to be impacted negatively by it. Generally speaking, the people who've got the kind of budgets to buy kitchens from a company like ours have still got the money. They're just not necessarily wanting to part with it this minute. They'd rather make the decision to part with it in another 3 or 6 months' time. Or it's still the story of being involved with projects that are long-term. Builders can't get the builder, can't get planning permission, can't get materials. Everything's going up, everything drags out. Kitchens, last project in down the line, by the time they get there, they suddenly haven't got 30 grand to spend, they've only got 25 less, so can we sharpen our pencil? In the meantime, prices have gone up 20%, so no, we can't. Well, it just leads to a lot of uncertainty and difficult conversations. I mean, as a business, because we're of a reasonable scale, we've always had a relatively short lead time, so a good pipeline for us would be 3 months, and we're not on 3 months at the moment, we're probably on 8 weeks. The only thing I can predict is that the market is completely unpredictable. If Keir Starmer sneezes today, then tomorrow bank interest rates go up, or the Bank of England makes the wrong statement and the pound goes down, and people stop buying kitchens. Or there's a bit of good news and they suddenly start buying them again. There's just no rhyme or reason to it. We've gone from relying on September, October being the busiest months of the year, it's probably August being one of our busiest months of the year. Because people aren't going on holiday, so they're kicking our tyres instead. I mean, a lot of the projects we're working on, by far the majority, are long-term projects, though they're mostly off builders' plans. It's just picking out the ones that are going to convert and mature into jobs sooner than others. You know, so if they come in with a plan and there's no planning commission in place yet, or no builder's been appointed, then they're in the bottom of the in-train. Whereas if they come in and they've got everything going off and the builder's halfway through putting the first story up, and they've waited that long to start talking to kitchen specialists, then we're going to do the work straight away and convert them quickly. That's where short lead times come into it for us. You know, I mean, if we were only doing one job a week and we had 4, 5, 6 months waiting lists to get that one job a week slot, then there'd be less pressure. But in the other sense, because we can cope with doing 6 or 7 jobs a week, we're just flexing the lead time. So it will go out to 12, maybe 15 weeks when we're really, really busy. Or it would just draw back in. When it starts getting down to 6 weeks, we start getting really twitchy, because obviously lead times for product are 6 weeks, generally speaking. So at that point, we're very nervous. We haven't got to that point yet, but 8 weeks is not uncommon nowadays.
Hi, I'm Matt Lawson. I'm Operations Director at Lima Kitchens. I think 2024 has been a really rough year. I think we've all got used to the luxury of the post-COVID home improvement sort of revolution, and it's been great. And is at some point it's got to come down a bit, and that's been perhaps the last few months. But there are signs of it improving. We've got busier in the last couple of months. It's a gradual thing, but it's going in the right direction. And I think pending the budget in a couple of weeks' time, but I don't think it'll be as bad as they've set out it's going to be. And there's good signs that the housing market is improving, which should mean that 2025 is a much better year. I think that we've carried on doing what we think works, what we know works, and it's lots of different formats, from social media to leaflet drops. So we're doing all sorts of different things to generate business. I think 2024 has shown us that word of mouth has been really important to us. We've got a lot of business that way, and it's been so important with what the turnover that we've had. We keep trying to deliver that 5-star service that we want people to recommend and keep us going. If I rewind to 2008, when we had the money crunch, the financial crisis, we saw and understood regular patterns. We both, Elizabeth of Blue Kitchens and myself, we came from retail before we started our business, and everyone seemed to know what happened and when. We very quickly after 2008 discovered that those rules seemed to go out the window, and felt that it was very unpredictable, and it kind of feel it's just continued, just in a different way, and that the new unpredictability is just more of the roller coaster ride that we've got used to.
It's Malcolm Scott, Membership Director at the KBSA. I visit over 230 members a year, and they're busy. Compared to where they were a year ago, They've got reasonably good order books. It's not the busiest they've ever been, but they're busy. The independent sector has always been a little bit different from the total market. We're talking major projects, walls being knocked down, floors being knocked out. It's a bigger project, it's a more considered project, and I think it goes on no matter what the economy is doing. Effectively, the Kitchen Specialists Association doesn't really have very many entry-level outlets. They're all mid-market or occasionally up-market, and that part of the market, in the last couple of years there's been ups and downs, but it's been reasonably constant. We don't lose members through going bankrupt or anything. An interesting thing, and it's after looking at one of your articles in the magazine recently, is just reminding people that we do have some pretty good standards via Trustmark. So Trustmark is a government-approved scheme which audits kitchen showrooms who choose to be involved in it, and it checks a physical visit to a customer, plus written references, plus it checks every conceivable document, from health and safety documents to insurance documents to staff training documents. Before you get certified as Trustmark approved, you've got to go through all these things, including a deposit guarantee scheme. It's not an option, it's an essential part of Trustmark. So all the stuff that people are saying needs to be available is available, it's readily available. Anybody that joins the KBSA automatically has free membership to Trustmark, provided we do all the inspections. I think it will continue to very modest growth. We're not talking about anybody breaking records, but good sound businesses will continue to be able to attract customers.
I'm Tom Reynolds. I'm Chief Executive of the Bathroom Manufacturers Association. Yeah, I think everyone's experiencing quite a challenging marketplace right now. Everyone was hoping for a bit more of a bounce back towards the start of the summer. That seems to have been delayed, but we're seeing some tentative green shoots in the construction market more widely, which eventually, with a little bit of a lag, the bathroom industry will start to feel the benefit of. I'm actually the conference today a lot more positive than I was at the start of the day, because we've had an economics presentation from Experian, and some of the kind of fundamentals in the economy are actually looking pretty positive right now, including on discretionary spend, which is great for our sector. We're not just a sector supplying products into a market and saying goodbye to them. We are a sector that's about transforming spaces and introducing wellness into people's homes and the wider built environment, and it's a hugely exciting opportunity for BMA members, but also our partners in the supply chain, whether that be independent retailers listening to this, the different distribution partners too. Lots of opportunity for bathroom sector without a doubt.
David Osborne, Roman. The second quarter was, for certainly what directly affects bathrooms, was very, very down, and it's certainly picked up July, August, September, but it still only gets you back to where you thought you'd be in about March, really. Because I think that's the executive summary from where we are. So, but everyone you speak to is telling you the same thing. It's not regional and it's not isolated. It's every merchant's telling you the same thing. Every manufacturer's telling you the same thing. It is where it is. So onwards and upwards. This period of the year is always the busiest, and last year it just never really got going, and that just carried through the first quarter. And I think the only thing we can say is now it really can only go one way, and definitely the project side's picking up. A lot of stuff that was put back is now being called off, so that's actually a very good sign, and that's not just now, it's for next year as well. There's a lot of you can actually hang your hat on all the stuff that's actually being genuinely called off now. For people asking you, they're holding prices first half of next year for projects and that sort of stuff, so things are happening. We can't chase price, it's not our game at all. There's still a lot of people who are solely chasing price, and a lot of people who are buying solely on price, which is always disappointing. But no, I think there's been a definite shift in the last couple of years with people talking to us who actually, whether it's de-risking or looking down the road geopolitically, other people are not wanting their eggs in a solely Chinese basket now. So I think that's a very good thing for us going forward, and that's actually driving quite a few conversations. What we certainly think now is growth, quarterly growth all the way through now going forwards, because retail's flattened and picking up, house building's definitely picking up, and projects are moving again. So I think putting all that together, it should be a much better picture this time next year.
Anthony Thompson, I'm the Managing Director of Lesco Bathrooms in the UK. I think I'd have to agree with what most people are saying, is that it's actually quite tough still. I think people are having to run fast to stay in the same place. And, we're finding it no different to anybody else in that respect. I mean, luckily we've got a real nice spread of business, the sectors and channels that we go into, so we can ride those bumps a little bit better. But it's been a challenge. I think there are some early signs, but I think you always try and look for those early signs. I think most people in jobs like I do are natural optimists, and I'm no different in that respect. So you maybe see green shoots when they're not there. But I think there's a warming, but it's not hotting up. I think next year, despite some positive things from the economist we listened to earlier, I think that it'll warm. I don't think it'll be red hot. We've got an ownership structure that are very much into the long term, so they've seen it all before. They've seen the ups. They don't get that excited when it's up. They don't get that deflated when it's down. They take quite a considered view, and I guess that's the only advice I'd give anybody running a business. You've got to. Today's important, but you've got to keep planning and keep trying to invest where you can sensibly for growth and for tomorrow. Specifically around retailers, it's support the brands. The brands that are manufacturing product for them, and grab the opportunities when they come through the door. We took a decision this year to make one or two strategic adjustments, and we launched a new look to our brand, and we're sort of stepping into areas that we're not necessarily known for, but trying to underpin that by offering a service and quality in those markets that we're recognised for in our more traditional markets. That's what we've been doing this year, and we're seeing it start to progress. It's actually the brand's way of getting the market to recognise it for what it always should have been. It should have been a multi-segment, a multi-category brand, and that's where we're trying to take it. That's where we will take it.
Alan Dodds from Rocker. I think it's fairly clear that the market is tough and has been for 18 months or so. The projected upturn that was due to happen in second half of 23 didn't happen. It was then projected for quarter one in 24 and didn't happen, and it doesn't seem to be happening at the moment. But the signs are more optimistic. I think new government, people being a little bit more settled with things, inflation dropping, interest rates dropping, should, in theory, lead to a slightly more buoyant market going forward. But, we'll wait and see for it to happen first. Retail's pretty good. I think people are still spending, particularly middle and luxury end. Other sectors are tougher. New build is clear. I mean, new starts are 22% down. That's on the record, so new build is tough. But there's business out there, and as with all things, the good retailers are doing well, and the less good ones are struggling. I think the days, certainly from Rocker's perspective, the days of saying we've got to keep the factories full at all costs is long gone. Sure, you want to keep your production up, you want to make sure that you're producing efficiently, but it's a dangerous route to chase volume for volume's sake. That route tends to end in tears. So it's all about focusing what you're good on. It's all about looking for growth opportunities, because there are growth things that are happening. Certain parts of the market are still doing well. Furniture is still growing. We're growing in areas like brassware. So I think you've got to be careful of not getting too fixated with the market, because there is business out there, and that's what you've got to focus on, is looking for the opportunities and putting the right proposal together for customers to get the growth. I think, assuming that everything comes as is being predicted, everybody seems to believe that interest rates will drop and that inflation is reasonably under control, so that should lead to some growth. The government's target of 300,000 new houses would be extremely tough, with there's enough materials and labour to reach a target that hasn't been reached for 40, 50 years is unlikely, but it's a positive aim, and that should see some growth in that sector, and that should also pull business through. So I'm optimistic but realistic.
Yeah.